Good evening, class. My name is Mr. Andrew Pitop. Today we are going to learn about inflation, and we'll start by defining inflation. Inflation is the situation whereby the general prices of goods and services in a particular country or region are rising. The opposite of inflation is deflation, which refers to a situation where the general prices of goods and services fall. We are also going to learn about the types of inflation, and we have three of them. The first one is called a moderate or creeping or mild inflation. It is the general prices of commodities. The general prices of commodities increases slowly. The percentage increase is usually less than 10%. The second one is called galloping inflation or rapid inflation. This is the general price level increases rapidly. Percentage rate of increase is in terms of tens or hundreds. And the third type is called a hyperinflation or runaway. The rise in prices levels are extremely high. In this situation, the inflation rates can be in thousands or even in millions. We are also going to learn about effects of inflation, and we have the negative effects and the positive effects. So we are going to start by looking at the positive effects. And the first benefit is to debtors. Debtors will end up paying less in real terms. This is because the debtor end up paying for the old prices of a commodity in future after it will have increased. The second benefit is to sellers. Sellers will buy commodities at lower prices and sell them later when the prices are high, making more profit. The third benefit is it leads to motivation to work. People may be motivated to work harder to cope up with effects of inflation as the prices of commodities goes up. The fourth benefit is that it increases job opportunities. This is because people will be creative and coming up with new ways of doing things. And the last point is better use of available resources. For example, a person can decide to prepare a meal once instead of preparing twice in a day so as to save on cost of fuel. So let us proceed with the negative effects of inflation. The first effect is loss of confidence in the monetary system. People lose confidence in local currency as it is difficult to use in transaction when it loses value very fast. The second effect is retardation of economic growth. This is because inflation hinders implementation of development plans since the cost of project increases. Business people are also not willing to either take risk, invest in the new vendors, expand production or hire more workers. This leads to retardation in economy. So we are going also on the third point is wastage of time. During inflation, individuals and firms waste a lot of time hopping around for reasonable prices. The time wasted can be extra cost to the firm or individual. The fourth effect is increase in wages and salary. During inflation, firms are always forced by the trade unions to raise employee salaries to cope up with inflation. This normally leads to conflict between the third parties. A good example is teachers have been going on strike for many years in Kenya. Number 5 is decline in standard of living. During inflation, consumers' purchasing power decreases, especially for people who earn fixed income such as pensioners. The reduction in purchasing power bring about a decrease in standard of living. The sixth effect is loss to creditors. We know creditors are those people who are lending loans, for example banks. Creditors lose money when they lend out, when the value is high, but got paid when the value is less due to inflation. And the seventh effect is discourages saving. Discourages saving and investment since people fear their money will lose value as they have less disposable. They have a lot of spendings or they would like to purchase more to benefit their families. Number 8 is adverse effect on the balance of payment. When we talk about the balance of payment, we are talking about the exports and imports. So when a country is experiencing inflation, its export will be expensive compared to import, hence causing that imbalance. And we know in economics that there should be equilibrium. Number 9 is loss of confidence in monetary system. High level of inflation may lead to loss of confidence in money, both as a medium of exchange and store value. This may lead to collapse of monetary system. A good example is Zimbabwe. When they had inflation, citizens used to carry a lot of money to the shop to purchase things that they were needing. So that is a negative effect. So that is the end of our lesson. Bye bye. Let us meet next time. God bless you all.
Thank you.